see you again tonight. I wanna break through your world tonight. I wanna dream of the because when I wrote that song, the original bridge was, oh, thank you, thank you. I don't know if I should share this. There are children here. Are there children here? They're not. How old are you?
Old enough.
Whoa. That's like, old enough. So it was like, I wanna punch you in the face with my dick. So I thought, this is our pop song. That's not really gonna work. So I moved on to Lips. The clean, right? The clean version. Oh, you're new. Are you new? You were here yesterday? See? I pay attention. I'm being a fucking idiot today. I'm sorry. Okay, so thank you for clapping for my song, because that was really sweet. Anybody want to have a request? If you don't have a question, anything. Anyway, yeah. Oh.
Just scratching hand.
It's too late. Ask a fucking question. You can't just do this, man. You can't. You can't. I'm fucking spazzing up out of here, you know? Hands in your pocket, oh yeah. Okay, so you default your question to that guy beside you. Question, no? You got a question? Okay, give me a song. What? One more time, what?
Nice haircut.
I can't hear you.
You have a nice haircut. I think it's a...
Thanks, I did it myself. Hey, you're shaking your head like you are a fucking idiot. Okay, wow.
Maybe you can show the other guitar and just play a song with the other.
Nope. Okay, so I was messing around there. I'll switch guitars just for you. So can Framus paint a guitar or what? No, really, can they? Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You were always a fighter for the one pickup guitar.
Well, dude,
Magnetic reasons.
do you eat like French fries every day? Say it one more time.
You were always fighting for the one pickup guitar.
Not fighting. It's a preference. Like sometimes I like.
But now you got two. One more, isn't it?
Well, there was 3, but the middle one got in my way, so I took it out, and that's when I put Batman in prison. But I prefer when it's funny because I use a P90, and there's only been a couple of situations where the hum from the single coil was really terrible. Because usually it's kind of like, oh, I gotta stand this way all night. Because it's quieter that way, and you're facing Mecca. I think Mecca is that way. With a library. What? I'm looking for over there. And then you have like situations where there's been a venue that's really close to a broadcast facility, and then the hum is ridiculous. So when I like, obviously I have like 20 guitars or so with when I'm out with Bon Jovi. When I do the drills, I take 2, and I would prefer taking just P90s, but just in case I hit a venue that it's ridiculous, I have a humbucker just in case, that kind of thing. I think I mumbled a lot of that. I'm sorry. I'll try to speak more clearly. Enunciate. So this is the PX8 made by Arcane for me. Wait a minute. No, it's not. I had the PX8, Super 8 in this guitar, and then John Shanks, who is a really sweet guy on tour, he goes, I got a pickup for you, and he gave it to me, and I said, what pickup is this? And he goes, it's Eddie Van Halen's pickup. And I'm like, yeah, but which brand? And he said, no, when I produced the last Van Halen record, he gave me this pickup, I'm giving it to you. And I was like, well, let's put it in. So, and I don't think I'm being completely transparent and objective. And I'm not saying this because it's my pickup, but I actually think my PX Super 8 sounds more like Van Halen than the Van Halen pickup. No, I mean, everybody has, okay, you guys think about a dick. But it's actually true. I truly believe that. And I think, maybe if the pickup was made between 1978 and 1984, when his tone was fabulous, maybe then it would smoke mine. But I'm a huge fan of the early Van Halen, and I don't think his sound has been the same since. And I love the guy because he calls himself a tone chaser, which is amazing. Somebody so established is still on the hunt for a better tone, but he had it. He fucking had it. Like Unchained on Fair Warning is the best guitar sound, to me, on the planet, hands down. Drop C sharp, skinny strings, it's crazy. So, but, people don't like to go backwards in time, and I understand that, but I would be chasing that. I chase that sometimes. I go into the studio and I'm like, let's try to get that sound. And it's something that just, sometimes you can't. Sometimes I get a great sound in the studio, and then I go in with the same gear 2 days later, and it doesn't sound the same, because the tubes are kind of like a they're always different. They get to a different temperature, so there's a lack of consistency. The strings, they sound a little deader. There's always factors involved when you're recording. There's a couple of guitars that I go into the studio with, like this is my fucking guitar, and this one. And I always know whatever I gotta record, it's gonna happen. Sometimes you need to have different tools, like a handyman. You got your tool belt of guitar, so you need a Strat and a Tele and a Les Paul and an SG and stuff like that. I find with this one, the one guitar with a P90, I get a lot with the way, I get a lot with way more. It's like, see? Oh, he started talking. So for me, the P90, my description of a P90 is that it's angry. It's an angry sounding pickup. It's like, it's angst, you know? But then I turn it down to 7 and it kind of sounds like a telly. And then I turn it down to like 3 or 4 and that's my clean sound. I don't have a clean channel in my amp. So it's all here. It's like, you know, watching Uli last night, it was like he's got that guitar, he didn't have any pedals or anything, and he had that guitar made a specific way. And with all the knobs, and there's a delay, and looper, and then an overdrive over here. And I stood in front of his amp last night, that guitar sounded like 20 different guitars, and he was switching all the time. It was fantastic. I like simple stuff, but I appreciate the complex stuff. I really do. This is my P90 pickup, the PX90. So, and to me, it's like sounds kind of stratty when it's turned down, but still, it gets a little angrier, and you can do that. Sounds like a humbucker. So it depends on, you know. And another thing is where you pick. A lot of people don't understand. Like, I try to instill the essence of nuance when it comes to guitar playing, because you can play it, or you can motherfucking play it. You know, there's a difference between going and then one has fire and one has not. So, and it also comes down to creating your own identity as a guitar player instead of regurgitating stuff that you love. I take stuff that I love and I make it me, or I try to, or at least unrecognizable. And then that starts happening, and then the more you do that, the more you get into that. And I'm going to show you guys, because everybody steals from everybody. Because Uli was just up here and I was talking to him, hey man, do you know that Eddie Van Halen stole a lick in Sales of Sharon and put it in at the end of Ice Cream Man? And he's like, I didn't know that. I knew he stole the lick from Catch Your Train. I go, well, there's that one too. But this one's hidden. So in Sales of Sharon, Uli goes, but we're in C, Phrygian, minor harmonic, whatever the fuck that is, because I don't really know. But to complete it, it's like, so it's gone. So, remember that, right? Then you got Eddie going, that kind of thing, right? And then you got, he ends the solo with, isn't that the same lick, right? Then he ends it different. Something like that. But the essence is, it's a modal thing. I can't believe I said modal. I never say modal. It's a modal thing. So, Yngwie, who also got stuff from Uli, but Uli was doing it in the Phrygian mode, and Eddie was doing it. It just changed the start note to the 5 instead of the 4 in a different key, and masqueraded it in pentatonic. With a flat 5. That is the most technological experience you will feel from me ever, because I don't even know what I said. But man, it sounded good, right? Okay, any questions?
I have a request. Could you play Live on the Moon?
Yeah, dude! I think. Oh, just in case you guys didn't hear, he requested a drill song. I can't stand the guy next door bounce on the wall every time I can't stand the lady first and all those things that give me that love. Six, Live on the moon, live on the So, which brings up an amazing point of songwriting. I didn't say amazing songwriting, I said amazing point. But it's one of those things where I was like, you know, you grow up and you have your influences, and I had my guitar influences and I had my song influences. And I liked artists like Elvis Costello and Joe Jackson. So, and when I came up with this verse section, that really reminded me of that vibe, you know, like, I can't stand against the pounds on the wall every time I play my music. Which reminds me, that was about a guy. There was when I moved to LA, I was living in an apartment, and I was like having to record our demos in our apartment in the den. And I'm playing guitar, and I'm totally like, I don't know, nailing the solo or something, or warming up, I don't know what it was. And I hear, hey man! I'm like, oh fuck, here comes the complaint. I'm like, what? He goes, sounds awesome! Yes, sir, right? Okay, so, any other questions? Yes?
How do you go about recording for the studio? So you record complete takes, you record with a complete band, or do you, like most guitarists do today, go part by part and copy paste?
Being a session musician, it's I've recorded every way possible. Two of my favorite projects that I ever did was to tape. So I recorded a tape, and the thing about, I'll get to what I do and stuff, but the essence of tape, I'm using Essence a lot today. I think I used the shampoo. But I should just leave right now. So, recording a tape is, you have a drummer, you have a bass player, and me, and the idea is to record 6 songs in one day, and you have to make a chart because it's hard to remember that and get it perfect. If you're recording 6 songs in a day, that's really hard to remember all that music. Especially, they wanted to sound like a band jamming in a garage. So, what tape does is you can't make a mistake, or you don't want to be the one that makes a mistake. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can, for instance, like when you're recording in Pro Tools, you make a mistake and you press pause and you go rewind and you punch in. And you can do that if you're just recording guitar. But when it's the whole band, you can't just stop. I have, actually, now that I think of it, where the band, somebody just screwed up going into the last chorus, but the beginning of the song was amazing. So they're like, okay, we're gonna try and punch in, and it actually worked. But it's true, that punch point is so important. And people don't use tape as often as they used to. So that punch point is very, very important. And it's hard to nail that, because you gotta do it on a 2 where the snare is, to avoid any weirdness, but there's always weirdness anyways. It's a mystical thing. I was talking to a Native American in Canada, and I go, hey man, he was an engineer. I go, what's the difference to you? Because he was like a brilliant guy. He was ripping off Neve, making Neve strips and selling them out of his garage with huge transformers, and they sounded amazing. But he was also nuts. So I love talking to people that are nuts. And I'm like, what's the difference to you about digital recording and analog recording? He goes, well, you know, digital is man-made. Analog is magic. And it is. It's the magnetism and the poles of the earth and all that stuff, right? So you gotta really think about that. That's why it just sounds so good and warm, and if you don't clip too much, you get that thickness. In fact, the thickness is so evident that there are plugins called tape sound. You know what I mean? They're ripping off, they're trying to emulate that sound that tape gives you. Anyways, when you, under the pressure of not making a mistake to get through a 4-minute song with an entire band, you're literally shitting your pants. Because you don't want to be the guy to screw up, but at the same time, it adds an urgency to the music. it gives it this intensity, like, wow, and when you get through, it's like you won the lottery. It's like, oh, we made it. You know, it's a very exciting thing to be involved in. And saying that, doesn't happen a lot. Actually, the last thing I did with Bernard Fowler, he's been a Rolling Stone background singer for like 20 years, but he made a solo record. So we went in the studio and everybody tracked together, and it was so exciting. I just love doing that. And I would have done it with the new Drills record, and this is where I'm going to get to. Usually, on the previous Drills records, because I was paying for everything out of my pocket, and I was broke, mostly, at the time, I would go to a friend's studio that had a good studio, or I'd offer guitar tracks on something they were producing to work in their studio, and we would just, trade stuff. So I would record drums, and then go home and record everything else, guitars, bass, vocals, and then mix it, and then get it mastered and put it out. This record, I wanted it to be as live as possible. And because there's 15 drummers on it, and I wanted it to sound like that drummer was in the band for an hour and a half. So if it was Taylor Hawkins, or Tommy Lee, or Abe LaBoyle Jr., or Kenny Aronoff, they'd walk into the room, and me and Dan, who was freaked out because this was the first time he was meeting these guys. I've worked on other artists' records with these guys, except Taylor. He just wanted to be involved. So the whole point is we're a band for an hour and a half, and we filmed everything too, because think of the personality of the person, and then stick it behind a drum kit, and it's like, wow, what? Everybody hits different. Everybody slams the snare different. Everybody hits a cymbal different. Kenny Aronoff beats the shit out of cymbals. Abe hardly hits the cymbals, but it looks like he's smashing the cymbals. But when you stand in front, it's not that loud. And then you have, Kenny, who also walks in with 9 snares, and he's meticulous. He's this snare for this song, and tuning all the drums. And I love his attention to detail. He just loves it. Taylor Hawkins walks in with 2 sticks, a bag of Jack in the Box, which is burgers, and flip-flops. Sits down, kicks off the flip-flops. Okay, listen to the song a couple of times, let's try this going into the 3rd chorus, and you're a band for an hour and a half. So we did that 16 times. No, I'm sorry, 14 times, because Dan wasn't in town. Does that mean 2 minutes or peace?
No.
It means both? Okay, I'm going to shut up about that, but it can happen so many different ways, to answer your question. Like that. Okay, so, we've come to the end, folks. Sorry. Well, that's great. Somebody right after me? Okay, they can wait. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Anybody want to hear anything? Yes.
What do you think about Future Tambora?
I got no comment. Not in a bad way. In a good way.
Filippo.
What do I want to play, man? Come on. Help me out.
Call to Arms?
I don't even know that song. Just because I wrote it. It was so long ago.
The phone.
I have no idea. What?
The phone.
Huh? Oh! Okay, this is 2 minutes. Well, how do I get to the song?
Yeah, lo sapevo.
Bueno.
Hey, can we get some volume on this?
Aspetta.
With everybody. Me too. More in here.
Sette di merda.
No, that's good. Sorry, it means the same thing, right? I gotta use this puppy. All right. I'm not even gonna introduce this. We're just gonna do it because we don't have time. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great day.